the 700-goal legend who never won the cup. That's Mike Gartner. But how does a man score more goals than most legends and still get forgotten? This is the story of hockey's most consistent superstar who played in the shadows for nearly 2 decades. Picture this: you're 18 years old. Too young for the NHL, but you're good enough to turn pro. That was Mike Gartner in 1978. He joined the Cincinnati Stingers in the World Hockey Association. His first season? 52 points. Not bad for a teenager, but here's the kicker. He finished second in Rookie of the Year voting. Who beat him? A guy named Wayne Gretzky. When the WHA merged with the NHL in 1979, Washington picked him 4th overall in the entry draft. The Capitals were desperate for talent. Hockey in Washington wasn't popular. As Gartner himself said later, "When I went there, hockey was in no way the #1 sport. In fact, it wasn't number 2, 3, or 4 either." But Gartner didn't care about the city's hockey culture. He just played. His rookie NHL season, 36 goals and 68 points. He led the team in both categories. This kid from junior hockey was now carrying an NHL franchise on his back. For 10 seasons in Washington, Gartner became the face of hockey in the nation's capital. He wasn't just putting up numbers, he was building something. Every night, fans came to see this blazing, fast right-winger who could score from anywhere on the ice. The Capitals eventually retired his number 11 jersey in 2008. That tells you everything about his impact. But here's where Gartner's story gets really interesting. He wasn't just good for a few years. He was great for almost 2 decades. 708 career goals. Let that sink in. Only 8 players in NHL history have scored 700 goals. Gartner is 8th on that list. When he retired, he was 5th all-time. The names ahead of him: Alex Ovechkin, Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Jaromir Jagr, Brett Hull, Marcel Dion, and Phil Esposito. That's hockey royalty. And there's Gartner, right there with them. His consistency was unreal. 17 seasons with 30 or more goals. That's an NHL record. He also had 15 straight seasons hitting that 30-goal mark. Another record he shares with Jagr. The only thing that stopped his streak? The lockout-shortened 1994-95 season, when he also battled a collapsed lung. His career high came in 1984-85, 50 goals and 102 points. He also had 9 seasons with 40 or more goals. But here's what made Gartner special. It wasn't just the goals, it was how he scored them. This man was fast, ridiculously fast. He won the fastest skater competition 3 times at the All-Star Game. The most impressive? In 1996, at age 36, he set a record of 13,386 seconds that stood for 20 years. Imagine being the fastest guy in the NHL when you're pushing 40. But speed without skill is just speed. Gartner could handle the puck, pass, and unleash what teammates called blistering drives in full flight. His shot was so hard that one former teammate said it was either going in or was going to kill the goalie. And he did all this despite serious vision problems. His right eye had amblyopia, commonly called lazy eye. In 1983, a puck damaged the optic nerve in his good left eye. Most players would struggle. Gartner became one of the first NHL players to wear a visor permanently. He adapted and kept scoring. He played 1,132 regular season games over 19 seasons. At retirement, that was 7th all-time. His coaches said he was in amazing shape and had great endurance. They said he could play every shift if I wanted him to. This wasn't luck. Gartner was obsessed with conditioning. He put in more extra time and was more meticulous than any other player in practice. His father had insisted on power skating lessons from a young age. That foundation made him the fastest skater of his generation. But here's the crazy part. Despite all these incredible numbers, Gartner flew under the radar his entire career. He never won a major individual NHL award. No Hart Trophy for MVP, no Art Ross for scoring champion, no Rocket Richard for most goals. He was never named to a postseason All-Star team. How is that possible? Simple. He was consistently great, but never the best in any single season. He had 1 top 5 finish in goals and 4 top 10 finishes. That's it. While he was putting up 30-plus goals every year, Guys like Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Brett Hull were having those monster seasons that grab headlines. Gartner's teams didn't help his cause either. During his time in Washington, the Capitals missed the playoffs 3 times and lost in the first round 3 other times. Hard to win individual awards when your team isn't winning games. But the All-Star games, that's where Gartner shined. 7 appearances. His best performance came in 1993 when he scored 4 goals and added an assist for 5 points. That's an MVP performance right there. The speed competitions became his signature. Fans loved watching this guy who could fly around the ice faster than anyone else. It proved that while the media might not vote him for the big awards, players and fans knew exactly how good he was. Still, there's one thing missing from this incredible resume: the Stanley Cup. In 19 seasons, Gartner never even played in the Cup Finals. For a player of his caliber, that's almost impossible to believe. The closest he came to glory was also the most heartbreaking moment of his career. March 21st, 1994. The New York Rangers traded Gartner to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Glenn Anderson. The Rangers were building for a championship run. Coach Mike Gartner didn't think Gartner had enough grit for the playoffs. 2 months later, the Rangers won the Stanley Cup, their first in 54 years. Gartner watched from the sidelines as his former teammates celebrated without him. The trade wasn't about Gartner's ability. He continued scoring with Toronto and even reached the Western Conference Finals that year. It was the furthest he ever advanced in the playoffs, but it wasn't the trade that defined his legacy. It was everything else. Hockey is the ultimate team sport. One player, no matter how good, can't carry a team to the cup alone. Gartner's teams often lacked the depth or coaching to make deep runs. When they finally got close, he was traded away. But the hockey world recognized what Gartner represented. In 2001, he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. 3 years later, he was named one of the 100 greatest NHL players in league history. Those honors came despite the missing cup and individual awards. The Hall of Fame committee understood something important. Sustained excellence over 2 decades is its own form of greatness. 17 seasons of 30-plus goals, 708 career goals, 432 games played. These aren't just numbers. They're proof of incredible dedication and skill. After retirement, Gartner stayed involved in hockey. He served as president of the NHL Players Association. Since 2009, he's been on the Hockey Hall of Fame Selection Committee. He's chaired it since 2022 and will become the Hall's overall chair in 2025. He also co-owns 3 skating rinks in the Greater Toronto area. The man who spent his career building hockey in non-traditional markets continues that work today. Gartner was described as a deeply religious man of high character and an excellent leader and ambassador for his teams. Kevin Shea from the Hockey Hall of Fame called him outstanding on the ice and as trusted as anyone in hockey off the ice. This is Mike Gartner's legacy, not the missing cup or individual awards, but the incredible consistency and character he showed for nearly 2 decades. He scored more goals than all but 7 players in NHL history. He did it while playing hurt, playing fast, and playing the right way. In a sport obsessed with championships and individual glory, Gartner proved there's another path to greatness. Show up every night. Score your goals. Be a professional. Do it for 19 years without taking a single night off. The hockey world noticed. His number hangs in the rafters in Washington. His plaque sits in the Hall of Fame in Toronto. His name appears on the list of the 100 greatest players ever. Maybe he flew under the radar during his playing career. But the numbers don't lie. 708 goals, 17 seasons of 30-plus goals, 432 games of showing up and doing his job at the highest level. That's not just a Hall of Fame career. That's a masterclass in consistency. Mike Gartner proved that sometimes the most remarkable thing isn't being the best for one season. It's being great for almost 20. Let us know where you rank Gartner in hockey history and hit that subscribe button if you believe consistency deserves respect.